everyone, good evening and welcome back once again. In today's session, I want to discuss about the wait for and wait until functions, which are used to get the status of a background running task whenever we launch the background tasks for execution using the asynchronous methods. So that's what I have decided to discuss and explain in this session. So let's start without any delay. So I will include the header files, IO stream, okay, as usual, and then next hash include. Since I'm dealing with threads, so this is the header file, and then since I'm dealing with the asynchronous methods, the return type will be the future object, so I will include this header file. And then I also want to induce some sleep for functions, so I will use some chrono. So then obviously I will include the namespace standard, and also I want to include the other namespace for chrono. Yeah. So now I want to launch a background task for execution. So what would that task be? So I will keep it very simple. The return type is int. The name of the task, let me say slow task. And this is the method which I want to run in the background. So very simple, it's returning an integer value 42. So before that I will induce some sleep for functions. Okay, so sleep for around 3 seconds. So that's it. So this background task will sleep for 3 seconds and then it will return 42. So that's the task performed by this in the background. So then in the foreground, obviously the main thread. Okay, so here I will use the asynchronous function to launch the background task. So asynchronous function, and the launching policy I will use here is the asynchronous, which I had already explained in my previous sessions. So launch asynchronous means the background task is executed immediately as soon as it gets launched, right? So the name of the background task is slow task. That's the name of the method. So what will be the return type of this asynchronous? It's a future object, right? So I will use this future class. Int is the data type, and the name of the object I'll keep it as f1. Similar way I want to launch the task with a different policy. So different policy here. Now I will use deferred. Okay, deferred in the sense the background task will not start its execution immediately, rather it is postponed. So the name of the future object, keep it as f2. So now, so with the help of this future object f1, I will invoke the wait for function. So wait for is used in the scenarios where you are specific about the time. So suppose say you want to wait for only 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then you will get to know what is exactly the status of the background task, whether it is the outcome is ready or whether it is postponed. So once you receive the status, based on that you will move on with the execution of your main thread. In such scenarios, you can opt for wait for and wait until functions. So here I am using wait for, and I am calling the seconds I will wait for up to 1 second. That's it. So wait for will return a status, future status. So I will use auto to get the status so that the compiler deduce the type of the status. It's the future status. Okay, then once I get the status, I have to check. There are three statuses. uh, there are three future statuses which I need to check. So status 1, whether status 1 is equal to future status ready. Okay, this is the status. This is one such status. Similarly, you have another two: ready, timeout, and default. These are the three statuses which are returned from the wait for and wait until functions. Okay, so I will check the other two as well. Okay, else if. Okay, then else if. Okay, so three statuses I am checking. um, so then if the status is ready, then I'm printing on the console that F1 is ready. The status is ready, which means the task is has executed and the outcome is ready. That's the meaning of this status. Similarly, um, what is the second status? That is timeout. Okay, timeout means you are waiting for 1 second. Here you are waiting for 1 second, but the background task is taking more than 1 second. It takes minimum 3 seconds. So the waiting time is out. Waiting time is out. So timeout. So the status will be obviously timeout. So I will print it on the console, timeout. So similarly, I will check for the last status, that is whether the background task was postponed or not, deferred. Okay, so F1 was deferred. Deferred in the sense the task did not, the background task did not start its execution, but rather it was postponed. So that's what it means. So these are the three statuses which you have to check whenever you use the wait for functions. So this is how you come to know what exactly is the status of a background running task, and then you can decide what to do next. So similarly, I will copy these lines. Okay. I will copy these lines and I will check the status of the second future object, that is F2. So here the status, I will name it as a status 2, and then object is F2, and I'm checking for the status 2. I'm printing the status of second object. Okay, similar even for the for the first object I invoked wait for the second object, let me invoke wait until. So whenever you invoke wait until, you have to mention a specific time frame, from where to where, from when to when, that's what. So let me just define it. Let me take time point. So I will use the system clock, and then I will invoke now. So here I will get what exactly is the present time of my system, of my laptop basically. So from then I will add, yeah, I will add 1 second. So from the system time up to 1 second, from when to when. So that's what you have to mention, the time frame. So then you have to invoke the wait until by passing it as the parameter. So this is how you invoke the wait until. Okay, so now you can check the status whether it is ready, timeout, or deferred. So hope it is clear now, and then wait for and wait until will only give you the status of the background task, but it will not give you the exact return value, exact value, right? So for that you have to invoke the get method. Okay. Outcome of f1 f1 dot get. So here you will get the exact return value, that is 42, the integer what we are returning. So similarly you can call this get method for the second object as well. Outcome of second future object. Okay, so this is how you write the program, or this is how you implement the wait for and wait until functions. It's very simple. With the help of the future object you need to invoke the wait for and wait until. For wait until you have to specifically mention the time frame, from when to when. Okay, but in case of wait for you need not mention from when to when, but you just wait for like certain 3 seconds, 2 seconds, that's it. So that's how it is. And then you need to check the status. As I told you, there are three statuses: ready, timeout, and deferred. Ready, which means the background task has completed its execution and the outcome is ready. A timeout means your waiting time is less, but it means that the background task is still running. Okay. So that's what is meant by timeout. And deferred means the task has not started its execution, it is postponed. So when will it start its execution? When the get method is invoked. Okay, the wait for and until methods will not impact any thing for the deferred policies. Deferred policies are meant to postpone the task execution. So that's how it is. So let me run. So what will be the output for the first one? Since we are launching synchronously, so the task will start execution immediately. But since we are waiting for only 1 second and the background task is taking more than 1 second, it's taking minimum 3 seconds, so the output should be timeout. For the second object, since it is deferred, the output should be deferred. So here I forgot to change the name of the parameter, so we are checking for the status too. So then the output should be deferred for the second object. Then what about this functions? Get functions always the return value will be integer 42, because we are returning 42 as the integer value. Okay, so now let me run. So as you can see, the output is as expected. The first object, the status is timed out, and the second object status is deferred, and the outcome, but both. For f1 object, the outcome is 42 obviously. For the second object, when we call the get method f2.get, at that line the background task starts its execution within the main thread, and then it will obtain the return value as 42. So that's what is meant by launch deferred. Okay, so now the output is as desired. So hope you guys understood the concept of today's session. Thank you for watching.